Hey there, YouTube. I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Hope everybody had a nice weekend. Can't complain here. It was a little gray the first half of the weekend, but sun came out yesterday, and I got plenty of outside time in the park. But today I want to talk about how I get my raw vegan info because I'm not an expert. Guys, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please go down and hit that red subscribe button now. Then be sure you click on the little bell and check send notifications so you will stay subscribed to the channel and come back here and check out some more of my content. And got a new hat. I think I showed this to you one video, but anyhow, it's the Powered by Plants hat. I will put that in a link down in the description below. I like this is on one of these flex fit hats, and I like these, and I'm going to get some more designs on there. But anyhow, I just wanted to get that out of the way. All right, so how do I get my raw vegan info? What's my process? I listen. One thing, the most important thing going into this, and I had that top of the list on my notes, is having an open mind. I don't have a side in when it comes to eating. I don't have a side when it comes to health. I'm not raw is law. I'm not down by raw. I'm not, in other words, like I don't have some sort of religious belief or hold on any way of eating. I'm continually learning. I'm continually applying what I learn to my body. And yeah, that's probably how it's always going to be. So one of the biggest things, like I say, is having an open mind. Don't go into things with preconceived notions. Read things with an open mind. Listen to things with an open mind, which brings me to the second thing of my process of how I get raw vegan info, is using common sense. We all have common sense. You know some of this woo-woo stuff that you hear about a raw food diet or a lot of stuff in general out there. Does it really resonate with you? Does it really make sense to you? Some of the woo-woo language and all that kind of stuff, things that just don't make sense. If it doesn't make sense to your common sense, that's a red flag right there. So, you know, keep an open mind and put everything through your filter of common sense. I research and I listen to things that contradict each other. In fact, I try to look for contradictions. If I'm looking at a subject or if something comes up that I need to look into for myself, I purposely seek out things like that. I will search something and I will go see what this person says, see what this person says. I like to see what, say, maybe 5 or 6 different sources say about it. And then I pick out the things in those sources that are common. Like, what are they all saying? Then I pick out the things that they don't agree about. And then I look at the person saying it, and then I look and see which, once again, going through that common sense filter, what just makes the most sense to me. But like I say, be sure you don't just close yourself off from people because you know maybe they disagree with what your guru says, or you don't believe everything they say. And let me throw that in there too. I think people are doing themselves a real disservice when they throw somebody out or they dismiss somebody simply because they disagree with one thing they say. There's people out there that I have gotten valuable information from that I probably think 90% of what they say is ridiculous, but I'll listen to that 10% just because they said what I don't agree with 90%. I'll still take that 10% from them. So don't be, don't be all or nothing with this. It's kind of like what Bruce Lee said, and I've kind of tried to do this lifestyle like that. He said, just take what works, reject what doesn't, and move on. Move on. I experiment on myself. I take all this stuff, and that's why a lot of times this channel from day one has just kind of been like an experiment. It's like I'm showing you the results of what I'm doing. I'm not an expert on this, and I'm not like somebody that's researching things that don't apply to me. So when people ask me stuff that doesn't have to do with how I do it, sometimes I don't have the answer. Well, how would I do this lifestyle? I don't like bananas, or I can't eat bananas. I don't know. You're going to have to, use the process for yourself and figure some of those things out. I put all this stuff, I experiment. And I have been very, very, and it probably comes from the fact that I do live by myself and I have a little bit more time to pay attention, but I experiment on myself, and then I observe how I feel very closely. Like I'm very in tune with what every bite of food that I put into my mouth does. I understand the things that I put into my mouth that aren't optimal, and I can tell. I can tell by that feel that I get. That it's different, because some things I eat, like, a lot of times I'll have, say, just a bowl of mangoes. Boom, that's perfect. I feel absolutely great. I have certain things that I feel just perfect every time I eat them. Then I have other things that it's like they're not as optimal for me. But I'm very aware of this type of stuff, and that's how I've kind of gone down the road. How does this work on me? I don't care what this person says. And that's what I see a lot of people doing out there. They're following somebody, they're following their favorite guru, and they're actually sick. They're sick. Their body is feeling sick by doing what somebody else says, and yet they listen to another person over their own body. And a lot of time that comes down to all this bullshit of like, oh, well, you're going to detox and you're going to feel terrible and blah, blah, blah. You're going to feel, yes, you may feel terrible or you might feel a little bit bad when you first start this lifestyle. But if you're not feeling good on this lifestyle, if it's not working for you, kick the guru on down the road. So I observe how I feel very closely about that. And another thing too, and that's why, I have to make notes for myself. If somebody asks me a question, I usually have to go brush up on it, is I was a heavy drinker for 30 years. I've realized over the last almost 9 years since I quit drinking that I did brain damage to myself. You don't drink like that. My brain, I'm intelligent. Whatever that means. I can process things, I can understand things, but I don't have any hard drive. I can't retain anything up there. So when people just, like, I can't do a Q&A because I'm not that fast at accessing that information. I understand all the information and I've gone through all the information. It's just almost like I delete I delete the why. Once I've studied something, once I've researched something, once I've, checked out things that contradict that and I make my decision, I delete a lot of that information. So I can't sit around, and I'm always a little bit jealous of people that just can spit the science of this lifestyle, just like talk every bit of it, almost like somebody that has written a book. I can't do that. That's why I like to curate content and share a lot of other sources out there that can explain things better than I do, because to be quite honest, I haven't gotten a lot out of YouTubers like me. That doesn't really help myself, telling people that I haven't gotten a lot of people out of people like me. It's really the books. It's really focus learning. It's the Dr. Gregors. I'm spacing on names now. It's the Dr. Gregors. It's the Dr. Doug Graham for Raw. It's Brenda Davis for Raw. It's a lot of different people. But the people that have a little background in this have some actual qualifications. So, like I say, get better sources. Get reputable sources. Get sources that actually have some credentials behind them. I tell you guys all the time, I'm not the end-all be-all. I say check everything. I'm not an authority. I'm not an expert. I'm not a medical expert. I thoroughly advise everybody, check everything out that you hear from me. Check everything out that doesn't sound right to you, because it very well may not be. But I'll finish as I started. Have an open mind on this stuff. There's nobody that's a super expert on it, because when it comes to the raw part of it, because there's nobody been doing it that long. As much as people want to talk about, well, here's somebody been doing it 30 years. 30 years doesn't mean anything in the big picture, because there's not a big enough study of people that have been doing it that long. So a lot of this stuff is speculation. So it's very important how you use the information that comes in. So anyhow, I'm kind of just rambling. That's my method of learning how to do things, and it's worked for me. And the bottom line is I feel good. That's all it's really about, and that's all I need to make me happy about this lifestyle and the way that I eat. I wake up, I feel good every day. My elimination is good. I don't have stomach aches. I don't have digestive issues. I've got plenty of energy. I don't get sick often, knock on wood. So, yeah, anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this one today. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and I will see you again in a couple of days. Peace.